Hi, I'm Amy, and this is Accelerate Her. I'm a female founder, just like you. I'm the founder of Mimi & Co, Canberra's very own reusable baby and period care brand. I'm passionate about building sustainable businesses that not only provide value, but are profitable, and that starts with figuring out how you'll make money. So much money, you might even end up on Shark Tank just like me. Now, not all money is created equal. So in this session, I'm going to walk you through the following. We're going to go through the difference between revenue and profit because they are very, very different. The different revenue models and deciding which one is right for you. We're going to go through finding and keeping those valuable customers who will help you grow. And of course, my top tips for those early revenue wins in your business. Let's start with the hairy beast that no one wants to talk about. That is money. When I was on Shark Tank, they asked me, Amy, are you profitable? And I said, sure. I mean, I have no debt and there's some money in my bank account, so I guess I must be, right? But here's the thing, revenue and profit are not the same thing. And that's a lesson every founder needs to learn very early on. The difference between revenue and profit? Let's go into the basics. Now, revenue is every dollar that comes into your business from sales. We call it the top line because it's essentially the top line of your financial statement. For Mimi & Co, revenue comes from selling reusable nappies, reusable period products, and all of our accessories. Whereas profit, on the other hand, well, that's what's left after we're paid for everything that it takes to run our business. Your cost of goods, like materials, manufacturing, packaging, shipping, import fees, duty, GST, payable, marketing, rent, staff, shipping, all of those sneaky hidden costs. Don't even forget about bank fees, merchant fees, transaction fees. Wow, it takes a lot to run a business, doesn't it? Let me give you a real life example. Let's say we sell something for $100. That's our revenue. That's the revenue from the sale. But by the time you pay for the actual product, we'll call this cost of goods or COGS. Shipping costs to the customer, packaging cost, marketing spend to find that customer, and even the Shopify and merchant fees. What's left? Well, that's what we call our profit. But why does knowing this matter? Because you might be bringing in thousands of dollars in revenue, but still have no profit left at the end of the month. And trust me, you can't pay yourself or your rent in revenue. My top tip here is knowing your unit economics. It's the most valuable thing you can do for you and your business. And honestly, it probably should be the first thing you do before you even decide what product or what business model you want to have. Let's break down the two different types of profit. Have you ever heard of gross profit margin? That's what your customer pays you. Let's pretend again, $100 minus the direct costs for producing your product. Here we're going to subtract things like manufacturing, exchange fees, shipping fees, import duties, GST, custom fees, yeah, that's a thing, and probably even your insurance, just to get the product to you. What's left is called gross profit. The product hasn't even been purchased by a customer yet, and so far we're only left with about $60. But what about all our other expenses? Subtracting those will give us our net profit. This is what's left after everything else is paid. With the $60 we have left, we need to subtract all of the things that we spend to land this product in the customer's hand. Think shipping fees, packaging fees, warehouse fees, marketing fees, subscriptions, websites, domains. All of these need to be calculated for and subtracted from your gross profit. By the time we've done this, we'll likely only have around $10 to $20 left, and that's if you're lucky. So you can see now that $100 isn't really $100, is it? For most businesses, including Mimi & Co, that $10 profit never actually leaves our business. It simply allows us to order a little more stock next time. Keep a close eye on both, because you need to make informed decisions about pricing and growth. Now let's get into the different revenue models and how to choose the right one for you and your business. There are so many ways to make money in your business, but I want to focus on 4 that are especially relevant for businesses like mine and yours too. The first thing you need to understand is your revenue model shapes how money flows into your business, and it can dramatically affect your cash flow, marketing, and even how you connect with your customers. So let's break down the 4 models that I think are the most important. Firstly, we have transaction-based revenue models. This is the classic model. A customer buys your product and you get paid. It's pretty straightforward, it's easy to understand, and it's exactly how I started Mimi & Co 5 years ago and how we still operate today. Parents buy a nappy or a starter pack and we ship it to them. The upside of this model? Well, it's simple and it's scalable. The downside? You need to continuously market to find new customers and to bring repeat buyers back. Now let's talk about a subscription revenue model. This is where customers pay you regularly in exchange for a product or service. Think of it like Netflix or a monthly subscription beauty box. Customers pay regularly, weekly, monthly, or even annually for a continued access to products or service. The big win here is that consistent cash flow. But it takes a lot of work to keep those subscribers happy and engaged, and you need to manage the churn. That's what we call when people drop off from your subscription. Next, we have commission-based revenue, aka marketplaces. This is where you list your products on someone else's commerce site, say Amazon or eBay. They take a cut of every single transaction. Think of Etsy, for example. They facilitate the sale, but they don't necessarily own the products themselves. It can scale quite quickly, but building a marketplace is a whole different beast. You're at the mercy of the marketplace you're listing on, and they can take a decent chunk of your profit. Lastly, we have brick and mortar retail models. This is when you sell your products to other businesses, i.e. retailers, who then sell your products to customers. At Mimi & Co, we've experimented with select retailers, and it's a great way to reach new customers. The upside? Well, you get exposure to new markets. And the downside? You're giving up some of your margin and you lose a bit of direct control over the customer experience. So how do you choose which one is right for your business? Start by thinking about your product and your customer. Do they want to buy once and then get on with their lives? Transaction-based might be perfect for you. Or do they need something regularly or on repeat, i.e. toilet paper? Subscription might be the answer. Do you want to build a bigger community around your product, or do you have a product that others could sell too? Then consider marketplaces or retailers. My biggest tip, don't try and do everything at once. Pick one revenue model, nut out the unit economics, test it, refine it, and then look at adding more as you grow. That's exactly what we did at Mimi & Co. When we started with product drops, I purchased about $1,000 worth of stock, sold it for $3,000, then purchased more stock with the profit that I had. I got really, really good at that, and I've continued doing that for the last 4 years. It's only now that we've been exploring other models, but it was only once we had our foundations in place. Okay, so now you've got your business model and you've got some customers. But where do we find more and keep them coming back? At Mimi & Co, our most valuable customers are parents who buy our products and then come back and buy more. Not only do they come back, but they share their reviews and they tell their friends. A mistake I often see founders make, they chase new customers constantly, but forget about the nurturing of the ones they already have. Trust me, a one-time customer will be the most expensive customer you've ever had. My tip here is to segment your customers. Understand that they are customers who buy once. You might have customers who buy twice, and you might even have customers who buy every month. A customer who shops once with you might spend $100. But what if that customer returns 15 times? That's now a $1,500 customer, and that's where the real money is made. At Mimi & Co, we spoil our loyal customers. Think early access to new products, private VIP groups, loyalty, discounts, all the things that keep our best customers feeling valued and returning again and again. So how do you find these valuable customers? Use surveys, Instagram polls, or just pick up the phone and ask. There is absolutely no shame in calling your customers and simply asking, why did you shop with us? Look at your order data. Who's coming back? Who's leaving reviews? Because these customers are the ones that are going to help you grow your business. Now let's move on to my top tips for those early revenue wins. If you can take one thing from all of this, let it be this. Test, 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 and probably test again. Early revenue experiments can teach you what customers want, what they're willing to pay for. So I've got some top tips for you. Number one is bundles. Instead of selling one product, sell a starter pack. It increases your average order value and it makes it easier for customers to get started. Secondly is pre-orders, pre-sales, and product drops. Let your customers fund your production run before you send a cent on inventory. I've done this before and we made $100,000 in just one day. Don't forget about upsells either. Offer accessories at checkout. It's easier to sell to a customer who's already buying. Limited time offers is another one. Create urgency, but don't overuse it. I've used limited edition print runs and customers absolutely love it. Listen to feedback. Ask customers how they heard about you, why they choose you. what they'd like to see next. Those insights are gold. A 1-star review is worth tens of thousands of dollars to me because it helps me reflect on our products. Remember, not all revenue is created equal. Think about how much you spend when you go to Macca's. $10, $20? It doesn't seem like much, but how much would you spend at Macca's in your lifetime? Because that's where the real value hides. A dollar earned from a repeat loyal customer is worth its weight in gold compared to a customer who only shops once and then disappears. Loyalty is the lifeblood of sustainable growth. To recap, we have covered the difference between revenue and profit and why it's so important to understand the difference very early on. We went through the 4 revenue models: transaction-based, subscription, commission-based, and retailer. How to think about finding and keeping those valuable customers, because those are the ones that will drive growth for your business. Getting your revenue model and unit economics right is the first step to building a sustainable and profitable business. It's what's going to pay the bills and keep the lights on whilst you grow. I'm Amy Mills, the founder of Mimi & Co, and I'm excited to see you put these lessons into action as you grow your business with Accelerate Her. And don't forget, head over to www.enterprisingme.com.au and click on the Kickstarter to enter the challenge. You could win your share of $60,000 in equity-free funding to supercharge your business.